Hello children, today our topic for class 4th science is air. Before learning about air in detail, let us first understand the concept of matter. Any substance that occupies space and has mass is called matter. Got it children? Any substance that occupies space and has mass is called matter. Matter is made up of small particles and the arrangement of these particles differ in the different states of matter. The three states of matter are solid, liquid and gas. Now children, let us know about solids. Solids are the substances in which particles are tightly packed. You can see so many examples are shown. Most solids are hard and have fixed shape. Including those examples, you can also see table, book, pencils. These are also solids. Now children, let us come to know about liquids. Liquids are the substance in which particles are loosely packed. Thus, these particles get some space to move around and hence liquids do not have fixed shape. You can see many examples are shown. Including those examples, oil and petrol are also the examples of liquids. Now let's move on. Gases. Gases are the substance in which particles are very loosely packed. These particles get enough space to move around freely. Why? Because the particles are very loosely packed, so they can move around freely. Gases occupy the entire space available to them as their particles can move around freely and they are loosely packed. Children, air and cooking gases are mixture of gases and they can be considered as example of gases. Now children, let us learn about air in detail. Air is present around us. We cannot see, smell or touch it. However, we can feel air when it moves and moving air is called wind and a gentle air wind is called breeze. Now let us study properties of air in detail. And the first property is air can change the shape of things. Second, air fills up space. Third, air has weight. Fourth, air has no color. Fifth, air expands. Children, you know that air is present everywhere and it fills up space. Now, how does it fills up space? In order to explain this, I would like to give you one example. Whenever we try to push an empty bottle or a mug into a bucket full of water, we can see bubbles are coming out of water. These bubbles are of air that were present inside the bottle. Now, in order to understand how air can change the shape of things, you must have noticed that whenever air is filled into a flat tire, the tire changes its shape. Similarly, a flat football becomes round after air is filled into it, and a balloon becomes much larger and round in shape when air is blown into it. This shows that air can change the shape of things. Now let's move on. Next property of air, that is air has weight. Children, how will you say that air has weight? To find out this, you will need a weighing machine and a deflated football. Now what do you mean by deflated football? Children, deflated football means a football which is not having air inside it. So what you have to do is put the deflated football on the weighing machine and note its weight. And after that, fill air into this deflated football and compare the weight again. The football filled with air will be heavier than the deflated football This shows that air has weight. Now children, the next property is that air has no color, as we cannot see air around us. Why? Because it is colorless, but we can feel it when it blows. Now the last property of air is that air expands. When air gets heated up, its particles move further apart from each other and thus it expands. Now children, after learning about properties of air, let's understand the components of air. Air contains many things such as gases, water vapor, smoke, dust particles and germs. Now, what all gases are present in air? Air contains gases such as oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and children, nitrogen is the most abundant gas present in air. Oxygen is required for burning and living things breathe in oxygen. Carbon dioxide is used by plants to make food and children, air also contains water vapor. Apart from these gases, children, air also contains certain pollutants. You might have seen smoke coming out of vehicles and from chimneys in factories. See, wind carries dust and smoke particles over great distance. So, air contains germs. Now, what are germs? Germs are tiny living organisms that can cause diseases. So, children, this smoke, dust, and germs make the air dirty, and dirty air is called polluted air. If we breathe in polluted air, then what will happen? We may fall sick. Now, children, let me tell you something very interesting. You know there are certain trees which are considered as pollution indicators. Such pollution indicators are lichens, and they are generally hills grown in hills and mountain where there is less pollution. You know why they are grown on such region? Because they cannot grow in region where there is high pollution, and this is the reason why they are considered as pollution indicators. So we should not pollute air because air is very useful to us. Now what are uses of air? See, air is useful to us in many ways. All living things need air to breathe and stay alive. Then air helps birds to fly. Air is also used to fill balloons, footballs and tires. Air is also needed for burning. Now, after uses of air, let me explain you the process of breathing. The process by which air is taken in and given out of the body is called breathing. And children, animals need air for breathing, that you know. But do you know that different animals have different breathing organs? Like insects breathe through tiny holes called spiracles. Similarly, fish breathe through gills. Frog breathe through their lungs and moist skin. Birds and reptiles breathe through their lungs. In the same way, human beings also breathe through lungs. They take in air through their nose. This is called inhalation. Now, what happens during inhalation? Can you see the picture? During inhalation, the diaphragm moves down and flattens, and the rib muscles lift the ribs up and outward. Therefore, the size of the chest cavity increases. As a result, the air rushes into the lungs. In the lungs, the exchange of gases takes place. Now, reverse happens during exhalation. That means the air goes out through the nose, and this process is called exhalation. Can you see the picture? The diaphragm now moves up and the ribs move inwards. Thus, the air that is inside comes out through the nose. That means the two processes of breathing comprises of inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation means the air taken air is taken in through the nose, and exhalation means the air goes out through the nose. Now children, already I told you about uses of air, and among those uses, one use is that air is needed for burning. Now how much important air is for burning? Let us understand this with the help of an activity. Children, this activity is very simple, and to perform this activity you need a candle, a matchbox with matchsticks and a glass jar as shown in the picture. Now what you have to do, that means what is the procedure of this activity? You have to light a candle and then cover the candle with a glass jar. After some time what you will see, that the candle goes out. Why the candle goes out? Because the glass jar does not contain enough air to keep the candle burning. That means air supports burning. This is the conclusion of your activity, that air is needed for burning. But you know children that burning causes air pollution. So our next topic is air pollution. Now children, you must have seen that the smoke that comes out from exhaust of vehicles, factory chimneys, and when we burn garbage or leaves or burst crackers, it leads to air pollution. And this air pollution causes difficulty in breathing, other health problems in living beings. So this air pollution caused by harmful dust and spit can release germs like bacteria and virus into the air. So, the addition of harmful and undesirable substance to the air as a result of human activities is called air pollution. Now, let us understand the causes of air pollution. And the first one is smoke and harmful gases. Children, this is the major cause of air pollution. Why? Because they contain particles of dust and heavy metals. And these heavy metals are very harmful since they are released from industries. Alright children. And the second cause is harmful gases and chemicals released from vehicles. You have seen vehicles moving around and releasing lot of harmful gases. So harmful gases and chemicals, they are also the major cause. Now the third one is smoke released from burning solid waste. See, people are unaware children and they are burning garbage here and there. But they don't realize that they are creating lot of air pollution while burning solid waste. So, smoke released from burning solid waste is one more cause of air pollution. Now, the last one is unwanted and harmful particles in air like dust and spit. Spit, you can understand, you have seen people chewing gutka and spitting here and there. So, they release germs like bacteria and virus into air, which further causes air pollution. And this air pollution is affecting us very badly. So, what are the harmful effects of air pollution? Children, first one is it causes disease such as asthma, lung cancer. Secondly, it also causes breathing problem, coughing, sneezing, headache. And the most important one is it is destroying the ozone layer in the atmosphere. This is the major destruction caused by air pollution. And when the ozone layer will be destroyed, then what will happen? The harmful ultraviolet rays, UV rays, they may enter the atmosphere and can cause skin cancer. So, we should take utmost care to reduce this air pollution. And what are the preventive measures which we can follow in order to reduce air pollution? First one is industry should filter out harmful pollutants before the smoke is released. That means industry should not directly release harmful pollutant to the atmosphere. Alright. Otherwise it will get mixed with air, isn't it? And energy efficient boiler should be preferred. Industries should be located away from residential areas. So these are certain preventive measures which industries should follow. Similarly, what we can do? We can use less polluting fuel such as CNG. Why these fuels should be preferred? Because they causes less pollution. Means instead of using petrol or diesel, we should prefer CNG. What is CNG? CNG means compressed natural gas. Likewise, we should stop burning garbage. Means burning of garbage, leaves and wood should be avoided. Instead of that, what we can do? We can dump and make a compost. Now children, I think you would have followed that how we can prevent air pollution and why it is necessary to prevent air pollution so that we get clean air for our survival. Thank you.